Hi, welcome to ECHL Week. I'm Barry Schickling. It certainly has not been a normal end to the hockey season. The world and the sports world have been turned upside down by COVID-19. And from a hockey information standpoint, not much has changed since March 14th, when the announcement was made that the season was over as a result of the pandemic. On our final show this season, set to debut on April 24th, we'll take a look at the issues the ECHL is dealing with in wrapping up last season and looking cautiously ahead to next. But today's show is about the portion of the season which did take place. Let's hear from some of the league award winners. We lead it off by hearing from the most valuable player, the man who led the league in both goals and points, Josh Kestner of the Toledo Walleye.
It was pretty special this year, like I said, to win the MVP, and then the years prior, winning the Kelly Cup. It's kind of just another step up the ladder, you could say, and it's been a great ride at the ECHL. I've been on some all-star teams and even some skills competition stuff related to that nature, but never MVP of a league. Or even a tournament for that matter. So this was pretty special to win it in the ECHL.
Thomas Scholl of Idaho is the top goalie.
No, it's an awesome feeling, and yeah, I mean, you don't think about it too much during the year because hockey's a team game. The most important thing is getting wins, but I think if you ask any goalie, they'd be lying if they said they didn't look at the stats every once in a while. And we're all competitive individuals, so we're always trying to be on the top of those lists. And so you have an idea that you might be in the conversation for it, but you never would think that I'm going to be the guy who wins it. But yeah, it's an awesome feeling. There's a lot of great goalies in this league, and just to be ranked up there amongst them and get the award as number one for this season is it's a huge honor.
Alex Breton of Allen is the defenseman of the year.
The biggest mindset that I had after the camp I had in Iowa and Minnesota, it was to work on my defensive game, and with Marty, we worked a lot on that. The way it's going right now, I think I see progression, and I think it's a good sign. As a hockey player, you don't want to stand at a level or at a place. So to see that I'm progressing, I think that's what I want in my career, and next year I want to even do better.
South Carolina's Steve Bergen is coach of the year.
Everyone kind of put their personal goals aside and put the team first, and we accomplished a lot, and we created a great culture, and I think that's something that we can all take on with us in the future of how to work as a group, how to deal with adversity, how to deal with success, and there's a lot of lessons that a lot of us learned throughout the year. We accomplished a lot. We didn't get to finish the job, but we also learned a lot of great valuable lessons.
Tyler Sheehy of Allen is the rookie of the year.
It's very humbling, and I'm very honored to be selected as Rookie of the Year. I had a good college career, and there's a transition period, so I kind of had to get used to that and kind of change my game up a little bit. I think with just the college system I was in, it was a little bit different than how I would play pro hockey. So yeah, it's a pretty great honor to be selected as Rookie of the Year.
The Sportsmanship Award goes to forward Spencer Watson of Indy, the first Fuel player to win a league-wide end-of-season honor. He led the team in scoring. Plus, he tied for 11th in the ECHL in points and was tied for second in goals. Watson accrued just 12 penalty minutes in 54 games.
The All-ECHL teams are straight ahead on ECHL Week.
This is ECHL Week.
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 And the number one source for ECHL news, ECHL Week.
Wash your hands. Scrub them while you're singing this song. Wash. Rub your hands and fingers and the places in between. Using soap and water makes your hands so clean. Wash your hands. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now dry.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
I'm Jesse Schultz of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and you're watching ECHL Week.
Time to take a look at the 2019-20 ECHL All-League teams. Voting by ECHL coaches, broadcasters, and media relations directors, as well as media members, determined those who were named to the All-League and All-ECHL rookie teams. Thomas Scholl of Idaho is the first-team goaltender. A member of the All-Rookie team and All-ECHL second team a season ago, he led the league with 28 wins and a 2.14 goals against average, plus he was second in shutouts. The first-team blue line featured Alex Breton of Allen, a member of last season's All-Rookie team, who led all defensemen and was tied for the ECHL lead this season with 44 assists. His 55 points paced all rear guards. The other defenseman is Florida's Logan Rowe, the MVP at this season's All-Star Classic. He was second in the league with a plus 36 rating and was tied for third among blue liners with 12 goals. The first-team forward line is led by league-leading scorer and league MVP Josh Kestner of Toledo. In addition to leading the ECHL in both goals and points, he was tied for seventh in power play goals. The league's top rookie, Allen's Tyler Sheehy, was third in the league in points. The former University of Minnesota captain tied for the league lead in assists. Rounding out the first team is David Valorani of Brampton. The ECHL veteran earned second-team honors in 2016-17, but this is his first time on the first team. He was second in the league in points and tied for second in goals. He also led the league in game-winning goals. On the second team, the goaltender is Parker Milner of South Carolina, a first-teamer and league goaltender of the year in 2017-18. His 7 shutouts tied for the second most in one season in league history. He ranked second in goals against average and sixth in save percentage. Eric Knodel of Reading anchors the second-team blue line. Last season's first-team member was tied for first among defensemen with 21 power play points, was third in power play assists, and number 4 among D-men in assists. Tulsa's Miles Liberati is also on the second-team blue line. He placed second among defenders with 46 points, was third in assists, and tied for sixth in goals. Up front, Brady Ferguson of Newfoundland was tied for fifth in the ECHL in scoring. He also tied for seventh in the league in power play goals. Utah's Tim McGauley tied for fourth in the league in assists and seventh in points. In addition to appearing in 10 AHL games, he recorded 6 assists during a game in December, tied for second most in one game in ECHL history. Rounding out the second team is Jesse Schultz of Cincinnati, the league MVP and first-team member a season ago. This year he finished fourth in the league in points, tied for fifth in power play points, and also appeared in his 1,000th pro game. As far as the top rookies are concerned, voted as the All-ECHL first-year goaltender is Billy Christopoulos of Toledo. Goose, acquired early in the season from South Carolina, led the league in save percentage, was sixth in goals against average, and was third in the ECHL with 24 wins. On the blue line, Cincinnati's Justin Beaudry led first-year D-men with 38 points, and his 11 goals were tied for first among rookie blue liners. He ranked number 4 among all defensemen in shots on goal. Joseph Duszak of Newfoundland spent almost as much time in the American Hockey League as he did in the ECHL. The Growlers All-Star Classic representative was second among rookie defensemen in points, averaging just over a point per game. Allen's Tyler Sheehy leads the way on the forward line, the only player in the league to be named to both the All-Rookie and an All-ECHL team. His 26 goals was tied for second best among first-year players. Justin Brazeau of Newfoundland led all rookies with 27 goals and was second among freshmen with 55 points. His 6 game-winning goals tied him for first among rookies. Finally, Atlanta's Samuel Asselin completed his first pro season, averaging nearly a point per game. He was second among rookies with 26 goals and third with 52 points.
A check on news, plus we say goodbye to the founding father of the league. Next on ECHL Week.
One in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hi, I'm Joe Duzak of the Newfoundland Growlers, and you're watching ECHL Week.
Despite the topsy-turvy situation going on the planet and in the sports world, there's still plenty of activity going on. We'll lead off our news segment today with a story out of Wheeling. The Nailers have decided not to renew the contract of head coach Mike Bavis, and he won't return for the 2021 season. Bavis was the 18th head coach in team history. We remain committed to putting a winning team on the ice and believe it is in the best interest of the team to move in a different direction for the 2020-21 season, said Nailers Governor Don Rigby. Hired late in the summer of 2018, Bavis was Wheeling's coach for 2 seasons. During that time, the team had a 55-61-15 record, and it did not qualify for postseason play. The captain of the Kansas City Mavericks for the last 2 seasons, Rocco Carzo, has announced his retirement from pro hockey. Although he saw time in the ECHL with Florida and Ontario, the bulk of his career came with the Mavericks, with whom he played for 5 seasons. He appeared in 407 ECHL games and accrued 292 points. He retires with the second highest number of games played with the Mavericks. He was also 3rd all-time for the team in goals, assists, and points.
Hi, I'm Steve Bergen of the South Carolina Stingrays, and you're watching ECHL Week.
We close today on a sad note, reporting on the passing of Henry Brabham, primarily responsible for the existence of the ECHL. In 1988, Brabham was the driving force in attempting to put together a group of minor pro teams. The result of his efforts was called the East Coast Hockey League at its formation. That first season, the league consisted of 5 teams, and Brabham owned 3 of them. From that point, it grew from one of a number of lower-level minor pro leagues to the status it holds today, the 26-team Premier AA Development League in North America. Brabham was the founder and owner of a petroleum company and operated a convenience store chain in the Roanoke Valley area of his native Virginia. He also founded and was the longtime owner of the Lancer-Lot Sports Complex in Vinton, where one of those first teams, the Virginia Lancers, played. He also spent time as the mayor of Vinton. Fans may recognize his name because the league's trophy for the best regular season record, the Brabham Cup, is named in his honor. ECHL Commissioner Emeritus Pat Kelly.
He is the founding father. He is the guy that had the idea to form a league, and I was blessed that he hired me as the first commissioner. When I retired in '88, I wasn't home 10 days, and he called me about wanting to start a league up, and he must have called me 10 times in a week, and I kept saying no. And he said, "Look, I know it's your birthday's coming up. Come on up, and we'll play some golf. And you and June can live in the lake house for a week." So June finally said, "Well, let's go and see what's going on." So away we went, and he convinced me to take the job. Well, he offered me the job as a commissioner of the league, and then the money he offered me was terrible. I said, "You think I'm going to move my wife up here from Charlotte to come up here for that kind of money?" He says, "Well, I got some other ideas." I said, "Well, it better be better than that idea." He said, "I want you to be the arena manager." I said, "I've never been an arena manager." He said, "Have you ever been a commissioner?" So when he offered me to do both jobs, I said, "All right, I'll do it." That's how we became great friends.
As another indication of Brabham's importance to the league, when the ECHL Hall of Fame was started in 2008, he was one of the inaugural inductees. Said ECHL Commissioner Ryan Creelan, "There is no question in my mind that without Henry Brabham, there is no ECHL." Henry Brabham was 90 years old. If you'd like to hear more of Pat Kelly's memories of Henry Brabham, check out the ECHL Week Speak podcast right now on SoundCloud. That wraps up another edition of ECHL Week. Thank you very much for watching. Follow us on all of our social media channels. It's the best way to keep up to date on everything that's going on throughout the ECHL, not just now, but throughout the summer too. We'll see you again in 2 weeks with a very special guest as we wrap up the season with our final show. Until then, stay safe.